Hi, I'm Mark Andrew Nowen, and I'm the writer of the Loving Room blog at markandrewnowen.com. And it was with a lot of sadness early this morning that I learned of the passing of probably the second most influential writer in my lifetime, Brennan Manning. Here's a picture of him right there. He was 79 years old, and I knew that he had been in frail health for quite some time. But if you're unfamiliar with Brennan Manning, how I first became aware of his writings, he was a prolific author, as well as a Catholic priest, and I first became aware of him through the Christian musician Rich Mullins, and Mullins named his band after Brennan Manning's most famous book, The Ragamuffin Gospel, and that's how I first became aware of Brennan Manning. I picked up the book, um, The Ragamuffin Gospel, embracing the unconditional love of God, and I picked it up around 1998 or so, and it really changed my life at the time. Brennan Manning's works, if you're unfamiliar with them, were all about the unconditional love and embrace of God, and he was adamant to get the message out that God was someone who furiously loved us, and that was like a fire that couldn't be put out, that love of God. And it was something that I really needed to hear at the time, and and it helped me through some really sort of dark periods of my life. That book, especially the Ragamuffin Gospel. Um, a little bit more about Brennan Manning. He was in the U.S. Marine Corps. He fought in the Korean War. Um, he uh, he graduated from seminary in 1963 and was ordained a Franciscan priest. Um, in the late 1960s, he joined the Little Brothers of Jesus of Charles de Foucauld, a religious institute committed to an uncloistered contemplative life among the poor. He transported water via donkey, worked as a mason's assistant and a dishwasher in France. He was he was imprisoned by choice in Switzerland, and he also spent 6 months in a remote cave somewhere in the Zaragoza desert. Um, Also, in the 1970s, Manning returned to the United States, and he began writing after confronting his alcoholism. He was also after his time as a priest, he was married as well, um, and he's very candid about his life and particularly about his alcoholism. Um, a few of the books that he wrote, that I have, and again, I showed you the Ragamuffin Gospel. Now, this is the one that I would recommend any Christian that is watching this to go to Amazon or go to Indigo if you're in Canada and order it. Now, it has a different cover on it now. This is an old copy, but has the cover is of a church or or a building. But this is a book that I highly recommend any Christian to read. Um, and he also had books called um, Ruthless Trust, The Ragamuffin's Faith in God, or Path to God. That was another one. And then there was one of his last books, The Furious Longing of God. Brennan Manning, he uh, he also had many contacts within the Christian world, and some Christian artists such as Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant considered him friends, and considered him a friend. I want to read just a few quotes by Brennan Manning to give you a sense of the kind of person that he was and what he believed in. The first one is: My deepest awareness of myself is that I am deeply loved by Jesus Christ, and I have done nothing to earn it or deserve it. The second one is, to live by grace means to acknowledge my whole life story, the light side and the dark. In admitting my shadow side, I learn who I am and what God's grace means. Another one is, I want neither a terrorist spirituality that keeps me in a perpetual state of fright about being in right relationship with my Heavenly Father, nor a sappy spirituality that portrays God as such a benign teddy bear that there is no aberrant behavior or desire of mine that He will not condone. I want a relationship with the Abba of Jesus, who is infinitely compassionate with my brokenness, and at the same time an awesome, incomprehensible, and unwieldy mystery. The greatest single cause of atheism in the world today is Christians, who acknowledge Jesus with their lips, walk out the door, and deny him by their lifestyle. That is what an unbelieving world simply finds unbelievable. And I'll leave you with two more quotes. If we maintain the open mindedness of children, we challenge fixed ideas and establish structures, including our own. We listen to people in other denominations and religions. If we are open, we rarely resort to either creation or evolution, liberty or law, sacred or secular, Beethoven or Madonna. We focus on both and, fully aware that God's truth cannot be imprisoned in a small definition. And perhaps Brennan Manning's most famous quote from the Ragamuffin Gospel is the following: When I get honest, I admit I am a bundle of paradoxes. I believe and I doubt. I hope and get discouraged. I love and I hate. I feel bad about feeling good. I feel guilty about not feeling guilty. I am trusting and suspicious. I am honest and I still play games. Aristotle said, I am a rational animal. I say I am an angel with an incredible capacity for beer. Rest in peace, Brennan Manning, at the age of 79. And again, I highly recommend that you pick up the book, The Ragamuffin Gospel, by Brennan Manning.